Being my birthday, October 2nd has always held a special significance. It was only years later I would come to learn that it's also the date that 13 runners lined up in Bushy Park in 2004 to run the very first version of what has become known globally as parkrun. October 2nd, 2021 fell on a Saturday, which would see parkrun turn 17 and myself 30. It only seemed right, therefore, that I'd be on the start line with friends and family to celebrate both. One problem. It turned out to be one of the wettest English days of the year, but we went anyway. I was first met with the sight of my aunt, Laura, brandishing 30th balloons, which we had to retie to stop from blowing away to sea.
So this is it! 30th birthday along Exmouth seafront in the wind and the rain. It is 17 years since the birth of parkrun and 30 years since the birth of me. Morning! The conditions are absolutely awful.
Joining me that morning would be cameraman Sam, very tall Chris, Karen, Freya, Stephen the sister, Laura, and of course pacing me, the lightning fast Louise. Spectating would be good friends and jog on enthusiasts Matt and Amy. A group huddled in the wind to hear the first timers briefing.
Here we go!
Whilst Louise and I warmed up with some seafront strides. Considering the weather conditions and the fact that I was already stuffed with birthday cake, I decided on a 5k pace to dip just under the 20-minute mark. The call went out for parkrunners to gather on the new start line, which had been moved onto the grass.
Today is parkrun's 17th birthday, 17 years ago in Bushy Park.
One girl had an interesting warm-up as I shivered in the cold. Before we could question what we were doing, it was time to go. In case you didn't see that, the warm-up girl had a huge full start. It was clear in that moment we had to take her down. Parkrunners streamed along the grass and onto path, then back up the blustery seafront route. Very quickly, we were on the back of full start girl and passed her with ease. A short way behind, very tall Chris cruised his way along the wet tarmac. As Freya and Karen made their way towards the first kilometre, we were met with a bagpiper outside the lifeboat house. Steve, the sister, and Laura were battling the elements. Though for Steve, as a sub-22 V60...
Dig in, come on! This is the difference between the 21s and 22, come on! Keep pushing! You got just under, well done. Beautiful!
This pace meant having a leisurely chat. The bagpiper continued to motivate runners to push on as we hit the turnaround mark, known as Orcombe Point. The Exmouth Harrier in second place gave encouragement, as did the Marshal.
Here we go. Thank you very much. Orcombe Point done.
We headed back. With the bagpiper playing on into the wind, we were able to see many of the others driving their way up to the turnaround point.
Go, Chris! Woo! Let up going, we go, Steve!
Louise's eyes smartly shielded by the peak of the new Jog On cap, myself taking rain to the face, we were able to make our way past an athletic-looking man in a grey top. By now, the wind was acting as a parachute, pulling on our shoulders and stifling the pace.
Conditions are still pretty poor.
Coming back down past the start, we saw Matt and Amy. First place shot past.
That looked painful.
Rounding the cone in fourth, it was a painful last push along the seawall.
Let's go, Harry.
Here we go. Final straight now. 18-18 on the watch.
The Exmouth Harrier, Craig, just meters in front. We were into the home straight. It dawned on me as I strode to the finish just how close to 20 minutes this was going to be. Just outside of 20 minutes for the course that day. To my surprise, Exmouth Harrier Craig turned to me to say he'd been enjoying recent Jog On videos. Walking through the funnel, we talked about the awful conditions as Freya ran past in the background.
Everyone's here, everyone's in London. I was going to say, is everyone doing London? That was my thought.
No one's here. No people like me can come around. Thank you very much.
No podium, but happy to be fourth out of 151 runners. It was also my first time in this age category, although technically I was still 29 years of age until 3 p.m. that afternoon, the time I was born. I congratulated second place Ryan.
How did you get on?
1951.
Good job, nice.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Barcode scanned, very tall Chris had appeared.
It was awful, Chris.
The rain was not letting up as the rest of our group began to appear. Spectator Matt had been left in charge of the camera.
Hi, Harry.
Oh look, here comes a trio of Jog On tops. They're storming in. Excellent, well done guys, all the way through.
Huddled in our coats, we awaited the arrival of Laura, who impressively ran the entire course off no recent training and having never done it before. Wiping the lens, we posed for a birthday photo.
Thank you very much.
I waved to the marshals
Cheers.
and climbed back into the warmth of the car.
That was Exmouth Parkrun, the 2nd of October 2021. My birthday, Parkrun's birthday. Absolutely miserable conditions, but great to see a few jog on tops out in the wet weather. I'm Harry Morgan, that's Freya Suggett, that's Chris Corton, and this is Jog On. Did you see Sam? Did Stan like stop by you at any point and be like...
Once, but he was filming you and you were kind of like the other way.
Right, good.
Because then he turned around and I was like, oh,
ready guys?
you know the way.
Yeah, roughly.
Okay.
Freya's just wrestling 30 balloons in the back.
Was the bagpiper always there?
No, but I thought that was a nice touch.
Quite nice.
About 2k you can get some of that Braveheart enthusiasm. I couldn't hear him on the way back though, but maybe I just wasn't paying attention, I don't know.
He was right there, he came round. Or maybe not for you. Yeah, okay. By the time I was running back, he was on my side.
Oh, he'd come around. Yeah, no, he wasn't. There was no sign of him.
He couldn't get round quickly enough for you.
Where's Louise?
Oh, there she is.
Jog on, mate!